DMT is one of the most mysterious substances ever discussed in the world of science, spirituality, and human consciousness. Its full name is N,N-dimethyltryptamine, but most people simply know it as DMT. For decades, it has been described as powerful, strange, beautiful, frightening, and almost impossible to explain in normal language. Some call it the spirit molecule, others see it as a chemical that can deeply alter the brain for a very short period of time. But what exactly is DMT, and why does it continue to fascinate scientists, philosophers, and ordinary people around the world? DMT is a naturally occurring compound found in some plants and in small amounts in certain animals. It belongs to a group of substances called tryptamines which affect serotonin receptors in the brain. Serotonin is connected to mood, perception, and many mental processes. When DMT interacts with the brain, it can strongly change how a person experiences reality. People who have reported DMT experiences often describe intense visual patterns, bright colors, unusual sounds, and a feeling that they have entered a completely different dimension. One of the most interesting things about DMT is how short the experience can be compared to other psychedelic substances. Some people report that the strongest effects last only a few minutes, yet during that time they may feel as if they have lived through something much longer. This strange difference between clock time and felt time is one reason DMT has become such a powerful subject of discussion. It raises a simple but deep question: how much of reality is created by the brain? Many people who describe DMT experiences say they see complex geometric shapes, moving patterns, tunnels of light, or unfamiliar landscapes. Some also report meeting beings, entities, or forms of intelligence. These reports are controversial. Some people believe these experiences point to a hidden spiritual world. Others believe they are powerful internal experiences created by the brain under extreme chemical influence. Science does not yet have a complete answer, and that uncertainty is part of what makes DMT so fascinating. The connection between DMT and spirituality is not new. In some traditional cultures, plants containing DMT have been used in ceremonial settings, especially in parts of South America. One well-known example is ayahuasca, a plant-based brew used in some indigenous and religious ceremonies. In those settings, the experience is often treated with seriousness, preparation, guidance, and cultural meaning. It is not seen as casual entertainment. It is usually connected with healing, reflection, personal struggle, and spiritual exploration. Modern science has also become interested in DMT, especially in the study of consciousness. Researchers want to understand why the brain can produce such vivid experiences, why people often describe similar themes, and what these experiences can teach us about perception. The human brain already creates our normal sense of reality every day. It takes signals from the eyes, ears, skin, and body, then turns them into the world we experience. DMT seems to radically change that process, almost as if the brain's normal filters are switched off or reorganized. This leads to another important question. Is our everyday reality as stable as we think? Most of the time we trust what we see and feel, but substances like DMT show that the brain can generate a completely different world when its chemistry changes. This does not mean the DMT world is objectively real, and it does not mean it is meaningless either. It means the mind has a capacity for experience far beyond ordinary awareness. That alone is enough to make DMT a serious topic, not just a strange one. There are also many risks and concerns around DMT. Because it can create intense changes in perception, emotion, and sense of self, the experience can be overwhelming. Some people report fear, confusion, panic, or difficulty processing what happened. It may be especially risky for people with certain mental health conditions or a personal or family history of psychosis. DMT is also illegal in many countries, and laws vary depending on location and context. Any discussion of DMT needs to be careful because curiosity should never be confused with safety. Another reason DMT gets attention is the claim that the human body may produce it naturally. Some theories suggest that DMT could be involved in dreams, near-death experiences, or unusual states of consciousness. These ideas are popular, but the evidence is still limited. The body may produce very small amounts, but whether those amounts are enough to create powerful psychedelic experiences remains unclear. This is where we need to separate interesting possibilities from proven facts. Still, the similarity between some DMT reports and near-death experiences has made people curious. Both can include bright light, a feeling of leaving the body, contact with beings, emotional intensity, and a sense of deep meaning. But similarity does not prove that they come from the same cause. The brain can produce similar patterns in different situations. Lack of oxygen, stress, trauma, sleep states, and chemicals can all affect consciousness in powerful ways. DMT also forces us to think about language. Many people who describe the experience say words are not enough. They try to explain what they saw, but the description often sounds incomplete. This tells us something important about human experience. Not everything we feel can be easily translated into speech. Some experiences are too visual, too emotional, or too unfamiliar for normal words. That does not make them false, but it does make them difficult to study. In recent years, there has been growing interest in psychedelics for mental health research. Substances like psilocybin and MDMA have received serious scientific attention in controlled clinical settings. DMT is also being studied, but research is still developing. Scientists are careful because these substances can have strong psychological effects. A controlled study is very different from uncontrolled personal use. In research, there is screening, supervision, dosage control, monitoring, and follow-up support. The real value of studying DMT may not be in proving one spiritual belief or another. It may be in understanding the mind itself. DMT opens questions about perception, identity, memory, fear, imagination, and meaning. It shows that the reality we experience is deeply connected to brain activity. Yet it also reminds us that consciousness is still one of the biggest mysteries in science. So what is DMT? It is a chemical compound, it is a powerful psychedelic, it is a subject of spiritual tradition, scientific research, legal debate, and personal storytelling. But more than anything, DMT is a reminder that the human mind is far more complex than we normally realize. Whether people see it as a doorway, a hallucination, a medicine, a risk, or a mystery, one thing is clear. DMT has changed the way many people think about consciousness. It sits at the edge of science and spirituality, where facts are still developing and questions remain open. And perhaps that is why it continues to hold such a strong place in human curiosity. It does not give us simple answers, it gives us deeper questions about the brain, reality, and the strange experience of being alive.